Okay, so this is the medieval piper, and the picture that they have there is they have an instrument that looks like somebody is playing. I think that's the shawm, which is a sort of medieval version of the modern oboe. And the reason why I bring that up is because the phrasing that they have here has those slurs, and if you notice, the slurs are kind of like every two quarter notes it has a slur and then kind of a break and a slur and a break and a slur and a break. And so I think what they're trying to communicate here is that sense of breath into the woodwind instruments. If you can imagine kind of sort of playing one of those instruments, you sort of breathe in and then you kind of breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. It's like almost kind of giving a sense of breath, or kind of giving a little bit of sense of a pause in there or a break. So when you're playing these, what I would do is kind of start with the right hand first. So these aren't like they're a staccato where you would have the kind of a quick little. It's not a staccato. All it is kind of a gentle little lift. It's all we're doing is kind of breathing a little bit more kind of life into this piece. So when you are having those breaks, remember not to do a really quick like a lift, because that would be kind of a different phrasing. They would have a slur and then also a staccato on there to kind of create that effect. This is just a little break. So when you're practicing those, kind of just keep those in mind. Kind of keep that into the muscle memory there. One, two, three. So whenever we're taking those little pauses, we're making sure that there's just a kind of really brief little period where there's no sound at all happening in the instrument. It's just a brief little kind of pause there without making too much of a kind of a sharp contrast. We do have some staccatos on measure 10, so those definitely we do. Just as like I was mentioning a little bit earlier on measure 10, we have that legato plus a staccato. So that's when you want to add that quick little upbeat when you have that upward motion. Same thing on 11. So once we kind of have the right hand down, the left hand is pretty straightforward. We have the D position, kind of going down one. And then a little bit of a diminuendo there. Also, too, on the repeat, we're going to do piano on that first one. So I'll play through both hands on the first part, and then we'll kind of go into the second part a little bit. We're going to take the repeat, soft, piano nice and soft on this one. Okay. So in the next one, we have a nice forte. You're going to be in kind of like that A position. So we have this a nice accent on measure 10. We have some intervals here that are 6. So we're going to stretch the thumb a little bit to G. We have that 4 2, 1 2 3 4 bum, bum, 2 3 4 bum, bum, bum. On 15, we have one big long kind of connection here. So we're going to make sure we connect all those notes. For me, as a teacher, I would accept just the B. If you'd like to go ahead and try that trill, you can kind of go back and forth between the B and C. Would also be kind of acceptable. If you want to get a little bit crazy with the ornamentation there, you can kind of, that's also fine. Left hand, we have our nice scales. Remember to cross over the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross over the top using number 3, 2, 1. Go down to G. Go to A. Remember your G sharp on this one. And then on 15, we're going to switch a little bit. So we used our number 2 on that G sharp. This time we're going to use number 3, 2. And then you have 2 sharps here, G sharp, F sharp. So when those are together, you have this kind of motion. Let's do 9 through 14. Okay, so on this one, what we're going to do, these are kind of like thirds. If you can imagine the right hand being kind of together, or maybe these being a little bit closer together. These would be all thirds. So we're kind of imagining those intervals being the same, but the right hand will just be one octave up. So these will be kind of separated, but we're sort of in our minds imagining those thirds. You're going to play these, go down. These are parallel motions. We're going down, circling up, and then coming back down again. You can hold that as long as you want to with that fermata there. Okay, and then we go into 17. These notes are a little bit different once we get towards the end there. Let's do just the right hand. We have that same pattern. Remembering your phrasing. 1, 2, 3. On this one, following the finger, 2, 3, 1 underneath, 2, 3, jump up to 5 on that A there, coming back down, cross over the top, 3, 2, 1. So again. Left hand, same thing with the going down, coming up. That's it. So we'll do both hands from 17 there. And then it looks like we have a trill there as well. So you can, if you'd like, you can kind of give that a trill. Use your 1, 3 on that A and B. You can do that. It's fine. And then I think that's about it. So that's the medieval piper, kind of keeping a little bit in mind of we're playing almost as if you're using the piano like a kind of woodwind instrument, modern day kind of oboe, the shawm I think for the medieval piper. So kind of keeping that medieval style in mind when we're playing this.